Okay, good evening guys, it's Zach here, and it's like 10 o'clock at night. It's extremely hot still. Yeah, I made a bunch of changes on the trailer and I thought I would talk to you guys about them. Looks a little different, doesn't it? I'm pretty much out of lumber as far as what I'm using here, but the front, as you guys can see, you see how much it tilts to the left down? That's exactly what I'm talking about. The back is square. The front slopes to that corner. That's where she got, she flipped and twisted. So it's just twisted in the front and then straightens out on the back. And I don't know if there's really anything I can do to fix that. Maybe when I get the plywood on there I can, but I'm just gonna live with it because it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't bother me any. So last night, as you guys know, I put the baseboard on. I built it like a regular wall. I was talking to Sam, and she was out here, and we laid down, and we're about shoulder to shoulder in between there. And I'm like, you know what? The extra, like, 2-3 inches would be really, really nice. And she agreed. So I redid the, look at, there's a fire over there. I redid everything, and this is what I came up with. So I actually saved lumber by doing this. What I did was I removed the baseboard and I turned these the other way, and I used, I think, 3 or 3.5 inch screws up through the bottom, 2 of them on each one. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to get some 2x, and I'm going to put a 2x4 in this way, and then I'll screw it from the bottom of the plywood and then into each side to help with the structure. But I mean, this thing is like, the whole thing moves already, and it's not even finished. Once that plywood gets on there, it's going to be built really, really heavy, and I'll tell you why in a minute. I put this brace in the front, so now that's extra strong. And I did this way because that gives me my overall height. And I screwed 2 screws down, 2 screws over. I still have to do 2 screws up, but I ran out of long screws. And then I put this one in that way I don't have like a pocket in there. And then I clamped it and screwed it off, so it's super heavy on the top as well, and it's going to be like that for these two as well. So it'll be, every single one of these will have a double joist or whatever you would like to call it. So super heavy now. Makes it really, really sturdy. And then the bottoms will get that double screw feature, because I worry that, you know, all you have is a 3-inch screw in there, the whole thing can pop off. Well, how this is all going to work is I'll cut the 2x for each one of those. It gets screwed on the bottom, toe screwed into each one, and then when I rearrange this, when I put a 4-foot piece of plywood on here, yeah, 48, which goes almost to the bottom of this 2x4 on the bottom here. So I'll be able to screw it all the way to the anchor, and then there'll be a 2x4 here, and it'll be screwed all the way across on the bottom, and I think that'll make it. It should be definitely strong enough with all of that on there. There should be no way that this thing would come off. And like I mentioned yesterday, I'm going to get some long normal bolts. Just like, you know, normal ones, just quite long. And I'm going to screw on the probably 4 or 6 points. I'm thinking just all 4 corners. I'm going to drill down all the way through this C-channel, and it'll have a bolt, a bolt, a bolt, a bolt. And that way, there's no way that this whole thing can lift off unless, you know, it's just some crazy, wicked accident. But I hope to God that never happens. So with all that being said, I think this thing will be built like a tank. I gained a little more room. I decided to put the door on the back. It's going to be a big door. I'm probably going to have it 3 feet wide. I'll go, 6 inches in, 6 inches in, have a 3-foot door. And I even have some leftover gasket material from one of the doors I replaced in the house, and it's hanging out somewhere here. It's just that simple foam gasket you get in the round, and I'll put a gasket on the door to seal it when it closes. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, about 6 more of 2x4s. I'll probably get like 10 more 2x4s, and then it's gonna take 2 pieces of plywood, because it'd be half, or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of plywood. So it'll be super easy. And then I know what I'm gonna do about my corners also, because there's going to be some corners on here that probably aren't the best. I was looking, Sam and I were laying on here looking up, and I think right there is some roofing corner galvanized flange, or galvanized corner material, because I got a bunch of siding left over in that. I'm counting it, and I think I can see like four pieces, so I think I'm going to climb up there and see, but if not that, I'll get some angle iron or something. And then where the plywood comes across and meets, I'll just put that over it. I'll paint it up nice, and I'll just leave it galvanized. And I'll put a bead of caulking in the square, and then I'll put the galvanized type material over it. And if that doesn't work, it should though. I'm trying to see it here. Maybe it's a double corner. I can cut that though, but I'll get it figured out. But so that's what the trailer's looking like for right now. The only other thing other than that is going to be to either jerry rig these or do something different with those for the fenders. But I think it's coming along good. I'm going to make I'm going to make the brackets for those come up, and then mount a light bar on the top underneath the rack, and that way if it's nighttime I need to get up, I can flick that light bar on. If I hear a noise, I can flick that light bar on. I think, well, that's just a want, but I think I will, because I have no other use for those light bars. And then I'll develop a little L bracket, and I'll mount this up high on its own switch, somewhere up here, as a outdoor light that I can flick on. That doesn't involve a lot of light, but will cast enough. I think I got 4 of these laying around, so I could actually put them on a few corners. And then other than that, I'm going to put the propane tank on the front and get the hose that runs for the buddy heater, so I can put the buddy heater on there, and yeah, put the buddy heater in there. And I think I'm just going to do a mattress on the floor, just like a memory foam one that I can roll up when I'm done, and I think I'll be pretty set. So I think this idea worked out really good. It feels a lot more stable to me than the other idea. Just shaking it, it just feels really strong. And once I get those other 2x in there and the plywood, this thing's built like a tank. So Sam likes the idea of it being, she thought it should be either hunter's green, or she really liked the idea of it being like an off-white cream-ish color. So I'll probably do that. But I'm really excited. I might even go as far as trying to get a scrap of maybe carpet from Menards or linoleum from Menards and just laying a piece in there, so that's easy cleanup. It looks a little less rustic than just the wood. So we'll see. But I thought I'd give you guys an update. Anyways, thanks for watching. Talk to you later.